In this video, we'll go over how to move real estate into a trust. Now, creating a trust is often a great idea for estate planning or for asset protection in some cases, but there's a lot of confusion on what happens after the trust is created and how to get things into the trust. Because it's not enough just to create the trust, we have to move things into it. We call this funding the trust. Now, to move real estate specifically into a trust, we're going to have to record a deed with the county where that property is located. And in that deed, it's going to show the grantee or the person or party receiving the property as the trustee to the trust. Let's say that Jane Smith owns a house and she wants to move that into her trust, and she is the trustee for that trust. So the deed would end up saying Jane Smith conveys to Jane Smith as trustee of the trust dated whenever the date of the trust is. Once the deed is signed, and as long as the deed requirements for the county are met, that then gets recorded, and then there's a public record showing the transfer from Jane Smith to Jane Smith as the trustee in her role as the trustee of the trust. Now the trust technically has control over that piece of property. It's no longer in Jane Smith in her personal capacity and is instead trust property at this point. So the trust has been successfully funded with the real estate. Now there might be some other nuances with the transfer of real estate into a trust, but that's really the high level overview here. The point is we need to get it into the name of the trust, and that's typically done by making it the trustee of that trust. That's who's actually receiving the property on paper. And once that happens, the trust then has control over the property. Or more accurately, the trustee or trustees of the trust have control over that property, depending on how the trust is laid out. But you'd hate to go through all the trouble of setting up a trust and then not actually putting the assets into it. Kind of eliminates the whole point. So it's a very important step to not forget about. If you'd like help setting up your trust, then feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to see what makes sense for you. Otherwise, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more estate planning content, and until next time.